So we started the YouTube hour talking about the Cavs-Pistons preview. We're going to do something real quick for the next 5 minutes called Hand Up My Bad.
Yeah.
We're going to look back at how we thought the Toronto series was going to go, figure out what we got wrong in our analysis, and see if it applies and makes us smarter basketball aficionados heading into Detroit. I'll start. Hand Up My Bad, Scottie Barnes is way better than I thought he was.
Yeah, right?
Did not anticipate this Scottie Barnes renaissance coming out. Hand Up My Bad, I didn't anticipate any world where Donovan Mitchell played like he did in games 3 through 7, and the Cavs still winning. And last but not least, hand up my bad for thinking the Cavs bigs were not going to be an absolutely integral part to them advancing through the first round. I thought it would be enough just to have James and Donovan, and I thought that talent discrepancy was going to be enough for the Cavs to get past Toronto. I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit it, so hand up my bad. Toronto was better than I gave them credit for, and I'm still picking Cavs in 6 over Detroit.
Man, I got the biggest one is Scottie Barnes. Listen, I've been known for slandering Scottie Barnes. I talked about how I just didn't like the fact that I don't know what his game is. I was like, man, I need him to do something. His throw, he got to get lined up better. But in like this dude came into this series, I ain't gonna lie. To me, he was like the best player in the series. Like the fact that he can handle the ball, the fact that he's a much better passer than I thought. He initiates offense. He's physical, and for him to consistently hit down contested mid-range jumpers, to me, I didn't know he had none of that in his game. And then the thing that was really elite was, we talk about Evan Mobley being elite defensively. Scottie Barnes was out here shadowing Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, and then turning around, still guarding the post defenders and not giving up. I'm like, I didn't think he was that big, capable of moving his feet. And then plus two, I underestimated the Raptors, their coaching staff, because I thought they had a tremendous plan. I thought they had a plan defensively for our guards. I think they to inspire those dudes to play that hard. They played in RJ Barrett. Remember we did the thing over, we were sitting here and talking about who we would take, the draft of players?
Yeah.
I said, man, I'm not scared of RJ. Yeah, RJ Barrett played his tail off. I mean, he was their second best player, and he brought grit. He hit a big shot in Game 6. But, shout out to the Raptors, man. I got a lot of respect for the way they played, man.
Yeah, I didn't think they could lock up Donovan the way that they did in this series, and James, really. I didn't think that they could keep the Cavs guards under control like that. I thought Toronto would win 1 playing this style of turning them over, creating turnovers into points. I didn't think they could win 3 that way, and they did. And I didn't think Jarrett Allen had it in them.
Yes, that's a big one.
Good on JA last night.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately we all got the team winning right, but hands up my bad, I forgot how impactful the Toronto crowd can be. Like, if I had them in 5, well, to do that, you've got to go and win 1 in Toronto. And they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I believe if Toronto would have had the home court advantage in this series,
they probably would have won.
They would have won. Because their fans made a huge statement by saying, we're not going to let you lose here. We're not.
Right.
And there were moments where 3 and 4 where you thought that it could get sideways for Toronto, and that's when the 6th man just stood up and made noise. Those folks are resilient.
It's a whole
country.
country.
They get punched in the face and they cheer about it.
It's a whole country.
It is a whole country.
Like,
that's exactly right.
Everybody.
And we don't understand that here because
like,
we've got 27 teams or whatever, 29 teams. And when you get, and we saw it in the World Series, really.
Yeah, that was Game 7.
You got everybody from Saskatchewan to
Winnipeg, Vancouver.
To all of these provinces, East, West Coast. Imagine in the United States, well, you can for the Olympics. The entire country gets behind one team and you can feel it. And hands up my bad, I forgot how loud they were, how good they were, how smart they are as a crowd. They hit all the right buttons. So I forgot about that. And also, hand up my bad, I thought Donovan and James Harden were really hungry to dispel this notion that when the lights get bright, they shrivel. I thought they were ready to shed that image, and they haven't yet. No. They're gonna have some work to do in this next series.
I think James played better than the numbers indicated. I don't think Donovan played better.
No, I don't either. In fact, yeah, when you look at Donovan's numbers, he had big games 1 and 2, but then he just disappeared. And even in Game 7, he had 22, but it didn't feel like an impactful 22.
In Game 6, James had 20 potential assists and 6 actual assists.
Because everybody kept missing.
The game looks a lot different if they have 10 assists, 11 assists. I thought James played better.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He didn't play great. I'm not saying he played great.
Yeah, he didn't shed that.
He played better than some of the numbers suggest if you just sit
yes,
and look at the box.
that's a fair point.
And his defense was pretty good, too, to be honest.
I thought he played better defensively. Now, T-Mac and I believe it was T-Mac, Vince Carter, and who else is on the halftime show? Carmelo. He said, Donovan and James, they kind of looking at each other like, are you going to take over or are you going to do it? Like he said, I think Donovan started to shoot more, but I do think that they have to be better as these playoffs go around. I think they have to be much better at understanding the flow of the game, because there's going to be times where there might be an avalanche coming and somebody else on another team might be getting hot, and you got to do something to keep yourself in the game.
You mentioned, hand up my bad, Jarrett Allen. I think collectively as a group, big fella, we owe you an apology. Hand up our bad. We did not see that coming from you.
No, at all. At all.
What in the hell happened?
Now you got to do it again. Now you got to do it again.
And speaking of Jarrett Allen,
that means nothing today. You got to do it 7 more times against Detroit.
Speaking of Jarrett Allen, our 60-second trivia. Jarrett Allen became the first player since who to have 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks in a Game 7.
Within the last 15 years. It wasn't LeBron James, right?
It is not LeBron.
Shaq?
It is last 15. It's not Shaq.
Tim Duncan?
Nope.
Wait, it's the last 15, huh?
It is. It happened in 2020. I'll give you the year.
Oh, in 2020?
Durant?
Nope.
Jokic?
That is correct. Nikola Jokic.
I was going to say that.
Last
I was going to say that.
To do what?
What was his
Jarrett
line?
Allen did
22
last
and 19?
22, 19, 3 blocks, 2 steals.